Walk with civil rights leaders. Wow. I'm learning so much. John Lewis. I don't know that guy. I'm Australian. Malala Yousafzai. I know her. She's on Instagram. Rosa Parks. Not on Instagram, but is on the bus. Is that the PewDiePie bridge? Minecraft has released a mini-game where you can participate in civil rights protests. Players can learn about protests, civil rights, and human rights movements in multiple countries, none of which are Chinese. Sorry kids, Microsoft only supports social movements that are profitable. Now I actually think this is an important tool for kids to learn about history and the power of protest, but I do think there are a few social movements that are missing. Nelson Mandela's in the game, fighting for an independent South Africa. I love that. Along those lines, what about Irish history? Let's let kids play as the IRA. They can craft a car, fill it with TNT, and boom, freedom from the British Empire. Next up, let's use Minecraft's robust biome system to recreate the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates' favorite holiday destination, Epstein Island. Kids can roleplay as themselves, trapped. Can they dig their way to freedom before Bill arrives with his best friend Jeff on the Lolita Express? And finally, what about modern civil rights movements? Why not let the kids participate in the Iranian Revolution against the Ayatollah? For extra authenticity, online play and chat services can be disabled by server admins. Also, in this minigame, eating pork does not heal you. In fact, it deals spiritual damage. Thoughts? Am I missing any social movements? Let me know in the comments section. Anyway, I'm Lewis Spears. Welcome back to Lou Review. There's a lot more to this story, so we're going to break it down. Like, subscribe, and welcome back.
What does it mean to get into good trouble? Take your students on an interactive journey to learn firsthand how leaders around the world fought for justice and human rights.
Reactionaries across the internet are losing their minds because Minecraft have released an update where, children learn about history. Want to change the world IRL? Start in Minecraft. Look, I think it's great for kids to learn about history and social movements and the power of protest, but the cynic in me cannot move past the fact that a billion-dollar corporation run by a frequenter of Epstein Island is getting behind social movements that are just so old and so beyond controversial that they don't affect any actual change at all. I think it's no mistake that they've called this make good trouble because businesses and billionaires do not want you making any sort of actual trouble. There is a big reason why there are no civil rights movements from Chinese history in this app, and that is because if they put Tiananmen Square in this game, Minecraft will be booted out of the country in 20 minutes. Microsoft owns Minecraft, and they're talking a big game about civil rights movements and the power of protest. But if you even type the words Tiananmen Square into any game on Xbox Live in China, you get booted from the servers. That is something that they have built with the Chinese government to stop their citizens from being able to discuss any sort of civil rights movements, let alone the most famous one that's happened in recent history. So for them to be like, we're going to learn about civil rights protests across the world, except for countries where us talking about civil rights movements would cost us money because we are an evil company run by satanic pedophiles, allegedly, so we don't want to cost ourselves even a dime by rocking the boat at all.
Begin on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and march with John Lewis for voting rights. Then travel through history to meet some of his inspirations.
Companies like this were the same ones that only a few years ago, every Pride Month, would update the Xbox Live logo to rainbow colors in Western countries, but not Arabic countries, and now don't even do it in Western countries because it's out of vogue and it might cause a little bit of controversy that might cost them 1 or 2 Xbox Live subscriptions from some MAGA parents. You know what I mean? Like, these companies only ever talk about civil rights movements after those debates are settled and uncontroversial, after actual real people have done the hard work. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great for kids to learn about history and civil rights movements through video games. It's awesome. It's easier than reading a book. Most kids cannot read anymore. This is a well-known fact. So I think it's good that this exists. But I do think that it's very transparent of Microsoft to be trying to monetize civil rights movements while stopping at a certain date and a certain time and not going into anything current because that might cost them some customers. That said, let's have a look at the trailer and see what we're going to learn about. Walk with civil rights leaders. Wow, I'm learning so much. John Lewis. I don't know that guy. I'm Australian. Malala Yousafzai. I know her. She's on Instagram. Rosa Parks, not on Instagram, but is on the bus. Is that the PewDiePie bridge? In the free Good Trouble DLC, explore global civil rights movements, meet changemakers, and learn how to stand up, speak out, and build a better world in countries that you're allowed to do that, not in any of the dictatorships that we help function by providing them with our technology. This is a company that has a long history of profiting from child labor, exploiting human rights, helping to build military technologies that are responsible for war crimes, and assisting dictatorial governments in suppressing the local populace, and the founder is a frequent visitor of Epstein Island. But worse than all of these things combined is when they ruined Windows XP with Windows Vista. I'm still not over it, dude. They ruined my PC. I was having a great time. Then they introduced Vista and fucking bricked it. And they have not gone back. All they need to do is go back to Windows XP and every problem in the first world will be solved. But they've made it even worse somehow. They're like, oh yeah, here's your new update. By the way, you cannot even search a file on your own fucking computer. You're going to search for, image 003 and it'll make you do an internet search on fucking Bing. They're like, not even Google. Fuck you. You complain about this and instead of fixing it, they introduce new bloatware and fill your computer with AI slop. I hate it. I hate Microsoft. I don't want to support Apple. I hate them as well, but Microsoft is even worse. Sorry guys, I got a little bit heated because I remembered how easy it was to play Age of Empires 2 on my Windows XP computer, and now everything's an app and my life is ruined. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I think this is cool. I think it's good to create innovative ways to educate kids about historical events. I mean, Lord knows I probably would have paid a lot more attention in history class if everything was a video game. I think it's cool that you can go and sit next to Rosa Parks on a bus. I just hope you can't also burn crosses on her front lawn. You know what I mean? I hope it's not too historically accurate.
Help Mahatma Gandhi spread his message for independence in India. Travel to South Africa and fight against apartheid with Nelson Mandela. And join forces with Rosa Parks, who sparked the civil rights movement that Lewis carried forward.
You already know there are some of the most devious 17-year-olds on planet Earth plotting to mod the fuck out of this, and you're going to see some of the most reprehensibly racist Instagram reels of people modding this game in Minecraft. I mean, we're already seeing it in the replies to the tweet that Microsoft have put out. Here's the top quote retweet, which has more likes than the announcement, "Villagers will not replace us." I mean, look... You can't really criticize people for making this joke when Microsoft are the ones that made villagers look like the most anti-Semitic caricature I've ever seen in my life, okay? If you want people to stop acting like villagers are evil, you gotta not give the merchant character giant noses and make them go like this. That is Microsoft's fault. Honestly, giving the merchant characters big noses, making them rub their hands together, you couldn't get any more problematic if you made the creeper scream Allahu Akbar before he exploded. Some more reactions to the tweet here. We've got this one, 20,000 likes. Just, you know, the kids are all right. Now, look, my serious opinion is that I think it's very good that this exists. I think it's great for kids to learn about history. These are all very important civil movements. But I just think it's hilarious the civil movements they've decided to not include and from which countries those civil rights movements are. And also the decision to not include any recent civil rights movements or protests at all. You know, like they've stopped at the Black Lives Matter protest. They're not doing that one, you know. Lord knows you can't have Derek Chauvin and George Floyd in Minecraft. That's not going to be a good look. I do think, though, that a future DLC should be Epstein Island. I think it's perfect for Minecraft. The temple, it's already a block, you know what I mean? Instead of Minecraft being played by famous pedophiles, you can play as a famous pedophile. All of the reactionary MAGA people are crashing out over this for some reason. Here's libs of TikTok. The popular video game Minecraft is promoting a DLC called Good Trouble, which pushes political activism and protesting on kids. I mean, it teaches them about history. Like, these are things that happen that they're going to learn about in school. It's not... like pushing some radical agenda. This is how they indoctrinate your children. Parents beware. I'm sorry, isn't this the woman that lied about receiving the first release of the Epstein files and then didn't talk about what she actually saw and kind of covered up for the government and just bent over backwards despite claiming that she wants to protect children from predators? She kind of helped run cover for them. If you can't even stand by your schizo anti-government beliefs, why the fuck should we trust your opinion on anything? Most of the people that are upset about this are like anti-government, don't tread on me types. I don't understand. Shouldn't you be supportive of people learning how to protest against the government and fighting for civil rights, even if you disagree with the issues raised? Wouldn't you agree that it's important for people to know that they can protest and be disruptive when they feel oppressed? Or maybe this is some kind of consensual non-consent situation. You know, they've got the don't tread on me flag and they're like, no, don't tread on me. Unless...
As students participate in these historic movements, they'll experience firsthand the echoes of Lewis's courage and spirit.
Kids reenacting social movements and protests on video games is nothing new. This has been going on for a very long time. Since the inception of video games, I mean, there's been protests in World of Warcraft in like 2006. This is not new at all. More recently in Roblox, kids have been protesting and reenacting even the ICE protests in Roblox. This also isn't really a new idea in general, these specific types of playthroughs. Fortnite did this first. They released a minigame where you could walk through the Martin Luther King social and civil rights movements.
It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation.
I think this is cool. I think that a lot of kids can't get to museums or can't learn about historical events like this, or are too young to do the research themselves, or know how to read intense, complex books, and they don't know where to find easily accessible information. I think this is cool for kids to learn about history and social issues and stuff like that. I don't think that this is indoctrinating children. I think this is just another form of education that the internet and video games have given us access to. This is a picture book. This is a song. This is a movie. This is a documentary. This is a play enacted in real life. Like, this is just another way to communicate information to kids who want to learn about stuff. And I think that's cool. And if the idea of children learning about a woman getting attacked for advocating for women's rights to learn how to read and go to school, if that upsets you, it's a bit of a self-report. Oh, they're trying to indoctrinate kids into thinking that it's okay for women to read. Okay, go to Iran. Anyway, it's a bit of a mountain out of a molehill, isn't it? I mean, if you're upset about this, you need to do something else with your life. This is a video game educating kids about historical events. If that makes you angry, you're weird. I'm Lewis Spears, and I'm only 5,000 subscribers away from 600,000. So if you're new, hit that button. We're going to get there. Also, see me live. Tickets are on sale. See you later.